All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first session of our Environment for the Americas Career Fair. Today and over the next four sessions that we have, we're going to cover about our internship program. So we're recruiting for pretty soon. And other sessions that we're going to have involve tips to applying for our programs, tips for interviewing with us. And we also will be inviting past interns that we've had in various programs to share about their experiences with you all. So we're very excited. Thank you so much for being here. We're Environment for the Americas. And next, I'm going to have our team introduce themselves. And I'll start off. My name is Stephanie Loredo. I'm the senior manager of the internship programs. I have been on for a few years and I was an intern myself, so I'm very excited to be full circle and help others find their way into a conservation related job.
Hi, my name is Catherine Shorten, and I'm one of the internship managers here. I've also been here a couple of years. My background is in higher education, and I really enjoy walking alongside of interns as they find their path.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jose Barrientos, and also an internship manager here at Environment for the Americas. I manage fish and feathers, and then do all kinds of stuff behind the scenes. My background is originally in advertising and design, and then now I'm also interpretation. So that's where a lot of my passion is. So these programs go really well with my passion and also mentoring. Um, Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Hi everyone, my name is Sheila Diaz Mendez. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm coming to you from Puerto Rico right now, so it's evening for me and for Patricia from Coamo. My background is I have a PhD in ecology and ornithology. I've been with Environment for the Americas since its conception in 2009. So I have been involved in many programs and currently with the Latino Heritage Internship Program as a manager. I'm going to pass it to Dijon.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dijon May, and I'm one of the internship program managers. I manage the Monarch internship. And so my background, I have a bachelor's in environmental science and a master's in wildlife science. And I'm excited to be here with you all today. And I'll pass it off to Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie Darden, and I am the recruitment and internship lead here at Environment for the Americas. And I assist with not only recruiting for various programs, but also I help assist with the Fish and Feathers program, Golden Gate, and a few individual placements. So thank you all for joining.
And we have other folks that aren't on the call today, but are also essential to running the internship programs. And one of them is Jordan Castinado. He's an internship assistant with the Monarch's internship program. We have Alex Strad, who is our print and digital media manager, and he puts out newsletters about what the interns are doing. He also manages our social media accounts. Chu Yu is our graphic design manager, and anytime our interns are wearing something or like get a little gear or swag, is because Chu has helped put that together for them. And she also helps us make our reports beautiful and things that we're going to present out in the public. She helps us with those. And last but not least, we have Lauren, who is our events coordinator for Environment for the Americas, and she helps in our internship programs as well. And next, I want to give everyone a little bit of a background on our organization and who we are in case you're not familiar with us. Our mission is to connect people to conservation and nature, and we do this through education, finding meaningful work experience, and international partnerships. We have many programs here at Environment for the Americans, and our internship programs is just one of them. We started off with just one internship program back in 2013, and at times we have 10 different internship programs running at once. Aside from internship programs, we're also well known for World Migratory Birthday, which I have a little slide on here in a minute. And we also run what we call the Western Hummingbird Partnership, which is a partnership between three different nations, the US, Canada, and Mexico, and different scientists and conservationists get together to talk ways in which we can help hummingbirds that are migrating across those three different countries. We have Bird City Network, and that's also one of our newer programs in which we recognize cities or communities that are having great efforts in conserving birds. And then we also do research both on wildlife but also human dimensions. And we have a few different programs in which we work with the community and engage them in either like outdoor experiences or bird conservation or other things. And these programs, one of them is called Team Naturaleza, which happens in Washington State, not Washington, D.C. And then the other one is Amigos Alados, which is kind of like a pen pal system between kids in Mexico and in the US, and they get to write each other and share stories about bird connections that they have. So we have lots of things going on here with Environment for the Americas. And back to World Migratory Bird Day. Many of you may have heard, or maybe this is completely new to you, but every year we celebrate birds that are migrating. And we have two dates that we have a lot of events around. One is May 13th, which is the second Sunday of every May. Second Sunday of every May. And this is when we expect a lot of birds to migrate and get to their northern sites to breed. So we celebrate that by putting on events across parks and different places. Anyone who wants to have an event can. What we do is we come up with a conservation theme every year. We collaborate with an artist that puts together beautiful artwork and help us spread our message. And we select different birds that will be speakers about that conservation thing that we picked out. And we also provide educational material for folks to have activities in their sites. And these materials come in different languages: Spanish, English, Portuguese, French, you name it. So this has become a very popular event that we put together every year. And then the other day that we also tend to celebrate this is around when all the birds are leaving their breeding sites and heading back home where it's warm in southern hemisphere. So that's later in October. So two dates, but we like to encourage folks to celebrate any time of the year. Any day is bird day. So if you become an intern with us, you're likely to hear more about this or even help host one of these events. And now we are going to go through each one of the programs that we're going to be hiring for in the whole next year. So pay close attention. You're going to meet people that are working in the different programs, and they're going to tell you a little bit about them. Oops.
So the Latino Heritage Internship Program is one of our older internship programs that we started off more than 10 years ago. So this program is a paid position. Interns are hired to be placed at a national park, and that is their site. Usually parks have housing, so housing is not a concern for the intern. We take care of the housing for the interns. Last year we had 30 positions. We usually aim from 24 to 30 positions where supervisors select their intern after being interviewed by Environment for the Americas staff. These positions usually are from 12 weeks to 20 weeks, and 12 weeks will be at the park. The 20 weeks will also be at the park. One of those weeks we have a career fair, and it's a mandatory career fair. So interns need to be committed for those 12 or 20 weeks of the contract. It's a paid position, and it's also an opportunity to get one of the hiring authorities, either the Public Land Corps, which we call PLC for short, or the Direct Hiring Authority, which we also call DHA for short. Now, these are hiring authorities, and they will be, the name of the hiring authority will be attached to the position description in our website. Like I said, we have the Career and Leadership Workshop, which a few of the internship programs have. Not all of them have this, but you will hear more if you're selected for LHIP. And one of the very nice components of this internship is that it has an art component. So aside from being public facing, some monitoring positions, there's an art component where interns let their creativity show with their art project. That is all for LHIP. I'll be answering questions after the presentations.
This is our Fish and Feathers program. This is one of our more entry-level positions. Again, the partnership is with the National Park Service, so there'll be about 24 sites, and these are all parks all over the country and a couple in the islands, depending on who is submitted. But this one, like I said, is very entry level, so there's a lot of community engagement. The purpose is for interns to put together programs for both birding and fishing, and then a lot of community engagement and connection. They also do a lot of pop-ups. They host one of the World Migratory Bird Days at their site. This position runs from May 11th to July 31st, and the first week of that May 11th to May 16th, there is a in-person workshop that takes place at YMCA of the Rockies, right next to Rocky Mountain National Park, where you do a lot of hands-on training, presentations, getting you all kind of up to uh, getting a level of birding or fishing or just engaging with the public. And so this to me, not only because I run it, but also it's one of my favorite internships, just because there's so much engagement with the public and teaching, and interns get a lot of really great opportunities to learn and also network and connect with people at the park. So again, because it's an entry-level position, interns have a really great opportunity to see what people are doing in these positions and either go full steam ahead or change, or just it's a really good place for people to start. But again, this paid internship. Housing is provided either at the park or close to the park. But yeah, one of the great internships that we have, and fairly new. It's about 4 years, and so it's been a while to get people to know about it, especially from the park. But now we have tons of applications, and people are always wanting to be part of this program. But so yeah, that's all I have for this one.
Next, we have the Let's Go Birding Internship Program. And this program engages people with disabilities in birding activities and bird conservation at National Park Service sites. And the interns in this program dedicate their entire time to creating accessible programming. So this next year, we're going to have 6 positions. The pay is $640 a week. The interns are also part of a training that Jose just mentioned. It's the same training. So the interns in this program will get to meet interns from the Fish and Feathers program. It is also an entry-level program because of this. So the interns don't have to come in already knowing how to lead bird walks or know much about birds. You just have to be really passionate in wanting to engage people of all abilities in birding. So they will also, be taught how to do these accessible programs, how to bird, and learn about the best ways to engage people with different disabilities during training. The training is mandatory and it happens from May 11th. It's 1 week long. And then after that, the interns go straight into their site to do 11 weeks there for a total of 12 weeks within the program. And I think that's all I'm going to say. This program is fairly new. It's going on its 3rd year this coming year.
Hello, everybody. So I'm excited to tell you about our Monarch Research and Outreach Internship Program. So this program gives you the chance to gain hands-on experience in conservation while supporting important work on military lands. So our interns are paid $6.50 a week for full-time positions, but we also have part-time options for flexibility. So what you'll actually be doing is monitoring monarch butterflies and their habitats. And this can involve capturing and tagging monarchs and collecting biometric data. This year we had the chance to tag monarchs with radio tags to track their migration to Mexico, which was really exciting. On the ground, you'll be collaborating with the installation biologists and land managers, and you'll be learning directly from these professionals in the field. And then on top of field work, our interns have the chance to design and lead outreach programs to engage the local communities and schools. So this year, our interns facilitated a symbolic monarch migration program at some of our sites, and this program connected students in the US to those in Mexico by doing an exchange of monarch butterfly artwork and letters. So it was really fun to see that come together. And then you'll be networking with our program partners, and you'll wrap up your internship with an independent project of your choosing that'll highlight your work and your skills. So we have locations in Texas, California, and Colorado, and just depending on the location, we offer different seasonal cohorts. So in Texas, we have a spring season that runs from about March to June, and then a fall season that runs from August to November. In Colorado, our field work runs from July through October. And in California, interns join us from April to October. And so you can visit our webpage at this QR code at the bottom to learn more, and hopefully some of you will be applying. And I'll pass it off to the next program.
Hi, my name is Catherine Shorten, and I want to talk to you about 2 independent placements in the Oregon coast. These are more exclusive because they're not a part of a cohort. We're looking for 1 individual for each site. Yaquinahead is with the Bureau of Land Management, and Sayuslaw is with the National Forest. We're really targeting more early career individuals because these are paid like 22 to 24 week positions. So you'd have to be, already in a position to stay for that long. The pay is at least $6.50 weekly. There could be a possible adjustment, but if it's adjusted, it would be adjusted up. Housing is provided, and it's just a really good chance to get more federal, a great pathway to a federal career because they come with the Public Land Corps hiring authority after completing it successfully. Yeah, that's what I want to say about that.
All right, so the next program we have is the Golden Gate National Recreation Area Internship Program. And we actually just concluded hiring for this upcoming year. So this program is typically 12 months long, and it will run normally from November to the next year in November. Since this year was a little bit different. We'll start in January and the program will still end in October, but we'll plan to hire November 2026. So if you're interested in this program, please keep those dates in mind. But this program really is centered at San Francisco and focuses on wildlife conservation, habitat restoration, aquatic ecology, and natural resource management. So if any of those areas interest you or you want to learn more about them, they are also geared towards individuals who are recently graduated. So since it is a year-long program, you can't necessarily be in school, but if you're getting ready to graduate, this would be a good program to apply for next year. And then the pay is similar. It's $520 a week. We do provide on-site housing, bunk style, sometimes dorm-like housing, and then lots of field research and professional development opportunities. And then lots of mentoring opportunities as well. So not only with your site supervisors, but here with us at EFTA, being able to connect you and be a resource for you. They also do a trip. I want to add a workshop. So sometimes those vary. Sometimes those are more educational conferences, or those are just events or workshops where you're able to learn more and develop in those professional aspects as well.
So besides all the benefits that students and interns will have at their site in their position, they will have hands-on experiences with all the theory that you've learned at the university in your majors. Well, the intern benefits direct that you will see is that it's a paid position. So we know that there are a lot of internships that are non-paid positions. Well, this one is a paid one. We also help the intern get to the site. So there's a travel assistance to the site and then back home or school. And we also provide the interns with gear stipends so that if they need, and these are fixed amounts for each program. So if you need anything to get your work done, we will provide that gear stipend for the intern. You also accumulate paid time off. And even though interns are contractors, we get paid time off for holidays, vacation. If it's a paid holiday at your site, then you can get paid for those 8 hours a day, sick time, bereavement, vacation. Now, one of the parts of the internship that we really try and get a lot to do in a short time is professional development. This type of webinar, virtual, is our way to get to you at your site at your convenience, but we get all the interns into these webinars for professional development, and they can include how to do your federal resume, financial literacy, even how to cope with security in the outdoors. So every year we try to mix up these webinars to make sure that interns get a rich experience of their professional development. So these internships, we have objectives that the interns have learning experience, professional growth, and fun at their sites. So, and if this is your first job experience or if it's overwhelming, through the years, we've seen how having counsel available for interns has been very important. Some interns are really keen on talking through some issues. Like I said, it could be your first job and you're overwhelmed working 40 hours a week for the first time in your life. So, and as you saw our backgrounds, nobody here is a therapist, but we do have one on call for that for interns. So counseling is available. Homesickness, it's true. And so the last one I have here as intern benefits is, oh, I'm sorry, I lost that one. That you, and I already mentioned this, that you accumulate hours towards a direct hiring authority. Now, this has to do with what project you select to apply to. So if you apply to a public land corps, the PLC one, you'll see there's a difference in pay. And if you apply to a direct hiring authority, resource assistantships, it'll be another type of pay. You will see that when you apply, and you will notice the difference between PLC projects and DHAs. PLCs can be up to 20 weeks. DHAs will not go up to 20 weeks. It'll be 12, even though it's a little bit higher pay. So be sure to look at that position description. Make sure you know which hiring authority you're applying to, because for NPS positions, you have to be a full-time student to be in that internship. And we can talk more in another webinar in the career fair about that. I'll pass it to you, Jose.
So our role as Environment for the Americas, so we are a partner with all of these organizations, it being U.S. Forest Service or National Park Service, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and so we're a partner, and so we are your employer as well, and so a lot of the things that we do is we have on staff, we have Stephanie, which was we're so happy that Stephanie Darden is here with us, because prior to that we had to do all the recruitment by each one of us. So so we did the recruiting, we advertised for the position, we manage all the applications whenever you apply for the positions. We take care of the stipends for weekly stipends for housing, any type of travel allowance that may be associated with the program. We arrange travel from getting you from your home to the site and getting you back, as well as sending you to any of the workshops. So like the Fish and Feathers workshop and the Let's Go Birding before the internship happens. And then some other programs have a workshop at the end of the internship. And so we'll assist you with all of that. We conduct in-person site visits, so we're a small team, and so we all get to go visit not every park, but we do get a good amount of parks that we get to go visit and see how things are going. So it's really fun for us and for you to be able to for us to see what you've been working on. We distribute program evaluations, so you get a post or a pre-internship. We just want to know how you fit in with get some information on how you're getting to get the experience. So there's a pre-internship survey, midway through your internship, post, and then also we compile all of the information to provide to our partner stakeholders. So just with different data and projects that you've worked on, all that kind of stuff to continue those the funding going. But yeah, so we do a whole lot, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of other things that we do that are not mentioned in here.
Okay, so now to talk about what we expect from our interns, because these programs are hands-on professional experiences, we ask for a strong commitment and active engagement in all aspects of the internship. So interns are expected to participate in our webinar series, and these are designed for you to learn from experts and to stay connected with the EFTA community. So they're actually really great for you and really beneficial to attend. Next, you'll be preparing blog posts on a regular basis, and this will give you the chance to share your experiences and insights from the field. And this is a really great way to practice your science communication skills and reflect on your work. We ask that interns submit their timesheets on time to help us track hours and make sure that you get paid. And you'll attend and participate in EFTA-led in-person training events, career workshops, or other meetups. And then finally, strong communication with the EFTA team is really key to being successful in these internships. So this helps us support you and answer any questions that you have, and just make sure that you're getting the most out of your experience.
So I know Dejan just mentioned about blogs, and well, we think blogs are super important. So every program um, in Environment for the Americas has to um, turn in blogs. And there's a couple of reasons why we do that. One is to keep to be able to share the work that you have been doing at your sites. But also, this is the part where it's really important for you all joining us today. This is a great opportunity for you all to check out our website and read some of these blogs. So if there's any positions that you're interested in, such as the Monarch program or Golden Gate program, the Fish and Feathers program, uh, you can go to our website and go to the blogs and you can read about the experiences that our interns have had at these positions and at the parks. So every park is different. So you'll be doing a little bit of different things in each position. So the internships are different as well. And if you want to know about the more about the Latino Internship Program and how that program is and learn about the interns that have participated, then you can go to this website to latinoheritageintern.org and read about that. And like I said, this is a great way to get to know about the programs in depth from somebody who is your near peer and get to know what projects they've been working on, what kind of projects you might get to work on. It might even help you decide on what parks you want to apply to. So this is a great resource for you all to be able to check out. Okay, next slide.
And then social media. So kind of to emphasize, as Jose was saying, we want to know what you're doing at your park. And a lot of you may have heard about, for example, this career fair webinar through social media, but it's one of the great platforms that not only enhance our reach, but also we get to share what you all, again, are doing and highlight different programs. So we always love not only having you follow us, but also as an intern, you are able to share what you've been up to, send in photos, create content. We have a communications manager who reviews everything and does the posting. So it's always nice. We just highlighted World Fisheries Day, but we'll also highlight several other programs and just events and internships that are related to conservation, which is nice as well. So our handles are down below. And then another thing I wanted to talk about was our Environment for the Americas website. I'll also just put the link in the chat, but again, you can find all of our internship programs here. You can also read about our blog post. You can read about us as an organization, the different programs that we have, how to get involved. At the beginning, Stephanie Laredo talked about World Migratory Bird Day. So there's information about that, hosting programs, just a lot of great tools and resources and news updates, and then our shop as well. So if you're ever interested in buying any items or repping EFTA, or if you need field gear, the shop is always a great resource too to get some of those things.
I was going into the chat saying bird stuff in the shop. Sorry. So check out the resources and links that we have. We can also put those in the chat. But your best bet to see how the park how that site, because we have parks and forests and sites, work. You can read the blogs, like Jose said. That's a great snapshot of what interns do, how they do it, and you can definitely have a really good sense of the site that you're interested in just going through intern blogs. You can also check those out in Facebook. We have um well, Facebook and Instagram have snapshots of the work that interns do and a lot of photos. So if you're a visual person, you want to go and see those photos, there's a lot of photos of the sites of where our interns are at. We really highlight and we intend to highlight the projects so that future employers also see what you're doing and where you're doing it. So check out our resources and links. We have for every program, you will find a post, social media post, or something on our website. You can always ask us if you have any other questions.
And we definitely want to answer any questions you have today, but this is a series. Today is the general information about internships that we offer. Next week, it is the former interns. This is always a very popular career fair because it's going to be real interns that participated in maybe last season, your nearest peer really, and they can tell you all about their experiences. And we're going to have different ones, so from different programs. Next, we're going to walk you through submitting your application. This is also a very important one in the series. So I would wait, and don't apply before you really get all the good tips in going through that application, so you don't make the common mistakes that we see that can kind of slow up your process. And then January 13th, we're going to talk about interviewing. They're all great, right? But January 13th, we'll talk about interviewing for a position. We have some great tips to provide. And then, of course, we won't leave until you ask and we've answered all of your questions. So that's what you can expect from the upcoming series.
Hi,
Any
and
questions?
last I want to mention, what you're all probably wondering, when are these applications opening? Um, well, they're gonna be out this month in a wave. So be checking in on our website. We are working on finalizing the details for all of the different programs that we have, but we definitely want to have everything out this month or like the beginning of January. And if you've signed up for a career fair with us, we'll also let you know through email when applications are open for each one of our programs. So you'll get the word. Um, I want to know too, and you can write in the chat how you heard about the career fair, if it was like through a friend or social media. I think that would help us a lot. And before we move on to questions, I want to share that these are the different program emails that if you have a particular program that you definitely want to apply in, down the road you have questions, the emails are here. They're all pretty self-explanatory. Accessibility is the email you want to contact for Let's Go Birding. Um, Golden Gate has its own email. Latino Heritage Internship Program has its own email, as well as Fish and Feathers. And all the other programs, you can email the internships at ourenvironmentamericas.org. I think that's all we have. So we will open the floor. Feel free to unmute and introduce yourself and ask questions. We'll also go over what we see here on the chat. I'm seeing the website and emails and LHIP. Cool.
There was a question about age, if there was any type of age cap, and so no, most of these internships are from 18 to 30, and if you're a vet, up to 35. But it really comes down to reading the fine print on some of the programs. But for the most part, that's kind of the age that we tend to take interns.
Hmm.
Hello, my name is Jacob. I am my interests are more so in like conservation and doing like field work. I do see that the Golden Gate one does a lot more of that. Are the other ones mostly like just outreach and education?
I guess I can start off. The Latino Heritage Internship Program covers a lot of disciplines. So I think Sheldon mentioned that a lot of it is public facing, but that may also include some field work. It might just be not 100% field work focus. And each position within the Latino Heritage Internship Program can be different. So we like this year we had some positions on like bird conservation, which involved bird banding and being out in the field, and even putting some like sound recorders out for listening to birds, as well as educating the public on bird conservation. So that is a mix right there. We had another park who was doing some interpretation, but also focused on fish conservation. So a lot of their field work was focused on fish. So different things like that. So for the Latino Heritage Internship Program, you definitely want to take your time and look at all of the positions that will come out because they all might be different. Fish and feathers, it's a combo of like really heavy interpretation, but you'll get to probably do some days out in the field, like shadowing scientists or even collecting some data. But the majority will be like these interpretation activities. And let's see. Yeah, like you said, notice Golden Gate is like the one that is 100% field focused. Um, am I missing any other ones? Oh, sorry. For individual placements, though, that Catherine mentioned, the Yaquina Head and the Sayusla, like especially the one in Sayusla, you actually get like a super mix of field work where you do some field work on endangered birds as well as restoration activities. So that's a really nice one if you're like, I like field work, but I haven't honed down on like what specific taxa. And the Yaquina Head one does focus on seabird monitoring, in addition to like engaging Latinos in the area to come to the park, as well as tide pool ecology if that's of interest. They have a lot of educational programs on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. All these programs, are they more so you, you just gave us like a general overview of them, but there's gonna be like different positions, you can say?
Mhm. And you can see all the positions in the website. So, and you can see them by program. You can see the fish and feathers positions, the LHIP positions, and you can in the website, you'll also see where it's located, where the site is, and what it's requiring. So sometimes it'll have the car is required because it's a remote site, or you will see that it's in this site, but this is where headquarters is. So you really have to go to the website and see each position and each program in with patients, because it might be that you're interested in maybe 2 or 3 positions and you can apply to up to 3 positions in one application for EFTA.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I have a question. My name's Elizabeth Knudsen. Nice to meet you guys. Um, I have a few questions actually. So, like you said, you could apply to 3 positions for one program. Can you also apply to all like different programs as well too?
Well, I can answer that a little bit. So the reason why we want to so we're going to have a lot of people applying for positions. And so if you just say, I'm interested in these positions or open to any other positions, then you don't really need to apply for other positions. Whenever we're reviewing, as you can see, we're a very small team. And so we're all talking within each other, to each other. And so if we find an intern that's like, oh, wow, this person applied for this position, but this one's a little bit tougher and like it seems like their interest would be a little bit better for this position. And so we will contact you like, hey, we saw your resume. We think you would be a lot better fit for this position. What are you thinking? Are you interested? And so we just say put in for 3 options, just in case you see something you want to apply for. But
Three options,
you
I'm sorry,
really,
of the same program.
yeah, you can do it. You can do the same program or you can do it from other programs.
Okay.
Yes. And so, yeah, Shelda's miming over there. But yes, and this just really helps us by not having double candidates. And, so, but again, if you have a interesting background, you fit any of these positions, then we'll be able to like contact you like, hey, I mean, you might be a really great candidate. So we might be able to like, hey, we have this position or this position. Which one would you like? So, like I said, we're a small team. So we said just put in your three that you're most excited about. And once you're in the process, then we'll continue to have more conversations.
Okay, thank you. And then my second question is, so when you are doing like an entry level, right? Or you're first starting out here, do you have to start with a 12-week program to exceed or progress to the year long, or can you just apply for the year-long program? You can just for the first time?
Yeah, you can apply to any. The reason why we kind of do it this way is because so, so like Fish and Feathers, these are programs that have to do a little bit more with like engagement with the public or
Right.
visitors, putting programs, stuff like that. And then we have other like the Monarch. That one
Mm.
you have to have specialized background in that. And so that's a longer position.
Right.
The Golden Gate, those some of those positions could be entry level, like some of the resource management ones. And so you don't need to have a lot of experience with that as well, as long as that's something that you're trying to study. So it really doesn't depend on like the length of the internship doesn't really have to do with the internship or where you are in your career. So yeah, if you see something that's interesting, just apply it. And again, we can go over some more of these details either by reaching us through this emails or yeah, just if you have some questions, just reach out or. It just depends on the program.
All right. Well, thank you, Jose. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
My hot tip is to apply early because we are reviewing applications as they come in. And it's nice to get a head start on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because the positions are open from this date to this date. Do not wait till the end just because it's like you're rushing, and we're looking at candidates as a rolling basis, and so also, we're not going to let all of the candidates just like be at the end. We're rolling out, we're sending out interviews, and so we're kind of doing that. So yeah, just apply as soon as you see it, as soon as you have your stuff ready to go. Um, yeah.
We have a question about the hiring authorities here, and it's what's the difference about DHA and PLC? Patricia, these are hiring authorities for jobs with the federal government. So if you enter a position that's with the NPS, that'll be a hiring authority for the Department of the Interior. And you'll be able to use that certificate. So what we're trying to do is help the NPS or Department of the Interior get a trained workforce for when they have jobs and positions available. So you enter a database for them to hire. So the direct hire and PLC are different databases, but they actually send us positions that are available, openings, and we then go to the interns and say, you qualify, this is a PLC or this is a DHA position, and you have a certificate that allows you to be more competitive for those open management positions. So it's a little bit more complicated than this, and we do a whole webinar, an hour webinar on these positions, 1 hour for DHA, one for PLC. So I'm trying to summarize that when you graduate and do this, if you graduate and you do a PLC position, you're ready to be hired. DHAs with the Department of the Interior need to be students after the internship. So if you graduate in May and you want to do a DHA with the Department of the Interior, it's not possible. So don't apply if you've already graduated to a DHA position. We always ask students, are you still in school for the DHA position? Because they still want you to be in school and finish that, and then the time starts counting towards your hiring authority. So like I said, I'm trying to summarize one of the most complex processes that we have in EFTA, which is giving these hiring authority certificates out to interns that have completed certain hours. To complete a PLC, you need 640 hours. So you have to do a 20-week internship. If you don't do a 20-week PLC internship, if you do 12, then you come back and do another one or do an internship with another NGO or partner, and you complete your 640 hours. For DHA, it's 480 hours, so a 12-week covers that, and you get your certificate. But again, these are specific requirements for hiring authorities, and all of the positions say if it's a PLC or a DHA position to avoid that you apply to a DHA position already being a graduate, for example, for NPS. I know.
Thanks, Sheila.
I can do for now.
We have another question here on whether EFTA has been affected by budget cuts or loss of funding. And we have been affected. A lot of the nonprofits have been, and other agencies that work similar to us with internships have been affected as well. We've lost an awesome program that we had called Mosaics. It was our full like field work focus one. But we still have a lot of great programs that are happening. And so if you saw it in this webinar, we are planning on having it, and we have our funding um, expected for it. Let's see, other questions I saw. Do you have a specific time you open the positions during the day, or is it just as you go? That's a good question. Jose, do you want to answer that?
For the mostly, let's see, the positions will come kind of in a rolling basis. So we believe the two programs will be posted at once are the Fish and Feathers and the um Let's Go Birding. And then we're hoping that maybe the following week the Latino internship programs will be posted. And I think we have some independents that will be posting soon. And for the Monarch positions, then they'll be posting a couple of months before they start hiring. And so it really does depend on the programs if it's in a rolling basis. I'm not sure if there was something more specific about the time of the day that you were asking about.
I mean, I think it's a good question because sometimes you want to get there, see all the things right away. But generally, I think um, we don't have like a specific time that we're posting it, just, a regular work day schedule, like 5 p.m. You probably will see a lot of those things posted already.
Yeah, and also, if you're following us on Instagram or any other social channels, we'll let you know, hey, positions are up or something like that. So yeah, just kind of stay posted that way.
Mhm. Dejan, did you have more insight to Monarch's positions and when they might open?
They should be opening up soon for our first cohort in Texas. So those positions will start in the spring. And so we usually like to have candidates selected, I don't know, by early February. Yeah, and then we'll have for our other cohorts in California, it'll be a little later since those are summer starting positions.
Yeah, and just as a follow-up to that, and what Stephanie Darden mentioned in the comments is that these are some of the like bigger programs that we know for sure right now are happening in 2026. But we always have more individual placement positions that just come up. And we are generally always hiring for at least one position. So even outside of this big push that we're doing right now, it's nice to keep our website in your roster of like websites to look through when you're looking for jobs just throughout the whole year. So you never know what we may be hiring for. How physically strenuous are the internships generally? Um, I see some folks answer to this. I'll just mention to the Let's Go Birding internship program. This is something that we take into consideration, being a program focused on accessibility. We actually look at parks and how accessible they are for somebody who may have um, some, mobility impairments, whether housing is ADA compliant. There are different things that we take into consideration when partnering with a specific park. And then also part of the intern's job is to look for trails that will be good for other people with disabilities that may be nice to hold programs. So um, that's just one program. I'll let others speak on different ones.
Yeah, most of the other programs do require, a bit of standing around, talking, walking. I don't think we have anything that's too crazy of hikes, but it does. Eh, so it's not, especially those other programs that like Dejan mentioned, uh, the monarchs that are out in the field doing surveys. The Golden Gate, that one will probably be out in the field doing work as well. So it really just depends on the program, and we try to do the best we can as types of details about the project.
Yes.
So for the application, we'll talk about like all the basic information like pay, time, how long, the area. If it's we'll also talk about like near, if it's like a park that's kind of like in a remote area, then we'll also talk about that, just so the applicants kind of know a little bit about what they're getting themselves into. Um, if it's an urban park, you'll know that as well. And also the types of work that you'll be doing. We do a really good job about the providing as much information as we can about the positions and the parks as well.
And the supervisors provide this information. So we just convey what the supervisors let us know. For example, one of the supervisors in Alaska will say, you're going to do the project is a video of the wildlife. Well, the project sounds, it's doable, but then you have to go outside and actually film the wildlife. So that will entail being outside in these wild areas with another team, carrying equipment. So you just need to read your project description. And if it's strenuous work, it will say that in the project. We leave that in there so you know that this position will be 80% in the field, 20% in an office, something like that.
And I'll provide a couple more specifics on this last question here on deadlines for the summer internships. Just want to clarify that most of these programs application closes at the end of January or like that first day of February. We do start interviewing in January if we have like 20 plus positions to fill. So that is why we say apply early. Um, so I wanted to clarify that. And I think any final comments that anyone wants to share or any final quick questions? Okay. Well, with that, I just want to thank everybody for being here. Come back for our next session, and we will also be sending out the recording to those of you that signed up, and maybe to those that couldn't attend. So thank you so much, and we hope you apply, and we hope to talk to you more soon. Bye.
Thanks,
Thank
y'all.
you. Gracias.
Thank you so much.
Stop recording.